This video, I'm going to be breaking down Abram versus Showtime. This is the RH3 Red Hot Gaming $40,000 live event, and this is a semifinal matchup. Shout out to all the sponsors that you see on the screen there. If you guys want links to any of the stuff, I'll put it in the description. Really big shout out to Red Hot Gaming. This is a great event, and it's a great way for kind of just a great celebration, I think, of just kind of Madden, especially at the end of the MCS season. MCS typically runs from about August to the Super Bowl, and then this tournament is going to be taking place in March, and just a great event. They're also doing daily live streams, I'm pretty sure, with Mutt League, CFMs, tournaments, all that stuff. So if you haven't checked them out yet, I'll put a link to all of their stuff down in the description below. But really excited for this matchup. This is Abram versus Showtime. What's really interesting about this game is this is a rematch of I'm trying to remember the tournament. I think it was the first tournament that was on Mud. I want to say it was the Ultimate Kickoff, Madden 25 Ultimate Kickoff live event where Showtime was playing Abram. Abram ended up making the finals to that, and then I think Fancy ended up winning that event. Anywho, Abram is Mr. Consistent this year. He's had a really, really good year. Abram has been, he played John Bees in the first tournament of the year in the Classic. I think he made the semifinal of that one in the Ultimate Kickoff. I believe he was in the finals, ended up losing to Fancy. I don't remember if he he did make the Most Feared event as well. I mean, he just made so many events this year. Probably the third best player in Madden 25. If we have Fancy at 1, John Beast at 2, and Abram probably right there at 3. So anyway, even though he didn't win a belt this year, he had a great year, made over 100. I want to say he made over $150,000 playing this game, and he's going to be in the Broncos uniforms. Now, Showtime is another really interesting player. I think Showtime, one of the things that Henry said in this broadcast, Henry and Mays were casting this game live, but one of the things that I thought was really interesting that Henry, kind of an observation that he made about Showtime, who's in the Cowboys uniforms, actually on Fancy's account, is that Showtime is going to play the game. He's going to play Madden pretty much based off of his talent. And it does kind of highlight how talented of a player he is, because he plays the game in such a different way than a lot of pro players play it. He's not going to really have a major regard for the clock. He's going to no huddle a lot. He's going to run probably like maybe 5 to 10 plays. He doesn't run a lot of plays. It's mainly going to be Y curl, base, and then maybe those are his main ones. Those are the 2 plays you're going to see him run a lot. But he's really good. Like if you watch him play, like he is talented. He is a talented player. He's also going to be in the 6-1, and he is he's kind of got a really interesting way that he uses switch stick. Abram is known as the dollar killer this year. He does really well against most dollar defenses, and Abram is kind of one of the main guys. I believe he's in Saints and 49ers. He might be. Is he in Saints? I saw Trips tied in there. I think he's in Saints. I'm going to actually pull that playbook up over here on the side. But he is going to be, a really, really good passer. And one of the ways it's really interesting how, some of the differences in just the way different players play the game. Abram is really good. He's okay. So this is not Saints that he's running against Showtime. So obviously Abram knows that Showtime. Abram normally is in Saints. He's actually in Saints in the next game, in the previous game. So kind of interesting what he's running offensively, because I believe he's in. I'm gonna take a look at that. I don't know what playbook he's in this game. He does have that tight Y off. He loves this tight Y off. This is kind of a hidden formation. It's a really good formation for dollar. It's basically a hidden formation within tight Y off that gives you a bunch strong type of look. And it also has some auto motion plays as well. Let's see if I can figure out what he's in here. Yeah, he normally is in Saints, so it's kind of surprising. Maybe he's in Niners. Is he in Niners for this one? But he had Trips tied in. Here's that auto motion play. He has this bunch RPO as well. That's actually how we're going to be able to figure that out. He has that auto motion from the bunch. So he's in Pittsburgh. Yeah, he's in Steelers this game. So one of the really cool things that happened in Madden this year was a lot of different playbooks, got a lot of different playbook updates. He's actually in the Steelers playbook. He might have been in Steelers against Wesley. Maybe I just didn't realize that, but yeah, rocking Steelers. The beauty of Steelers, he loves this Bunch X Nasty because the Bunch X Nasty has these auto motion plays that are going to kill me in coverage, has some nice RPOs. Actually, honestly, as I'm looking at Steelers here, it probably has the best Bunch X Nasty, at least from an auto motion perspective. It has trips tied in, it has that tight Y off that he likes. It doesn't have the doubles that he likes, but it has a different type of doubles. It's actually not bad. It's the doubles that's in the Chiefs playbook, where it's the doubles Y off nasty. But anyway, Abram goes down, gets 7. Kind of standard what we see normally in the first drive. Typically in the first drive, if you think of Madden, I've been trying to kind of quasi comprehend this, but if you think of Madden as kind of a chess match, the first drive is really the opening where you're going to kind of see like the fundamentals of what's trying to happen on both sides of the ball. That's why it's so important that kind of saw on both sides, even though they were able to score, they didn't give up like a one play touchdown, so they got a lot of exposure to what's going on. Now, Abram is also one other thing I wanted to mention here is he is running his dollar in kind of an interesting way. He's running a show blitz based dollar where this guy is going to be, about 2 yards closer than normal. And then his whole idea here is he's going to engage and this guy's going to loop in. And then one of the main things that you're going to see is you're going to see this send 3. So it's going to be 1, 2, and then 3 here. And then he's going to peel out with his user, right? So it's kind of it looks like a send 4, but it's actually a send 3. That being said, the other thing that Abram is going to do is, let's say that Showtime starts to block. If he is consistently blocking this, what Abram will do is he'll start to send one slot corner off of either side, making it a send 4. So anyway, as you see here, Showtime going to base. And we'll kind of see, the second drive is really where you start to kind of see some of the adjustments that's going to happen. One of the things I still think is so interesting to this day is when you watch these players play, there's Y curl. And again, let me just quickly highlight his main setup from Y curl. It's a real simple play here, but he's mastered this play. And again, it just goes to show the power of mastering a play. You have a wheel there, a little drag, and you really don't see this play. I don't know of anybody in the top 25 that runs this play consistently, including Clef the God, who has it in his playbook. So kind of interesting. Here you're going to see Abram going to go to a cover 2 look. One of the little things about, kind of watching the game, here you're going to see he's going to send that slot corner. Notice that when he was running cover 4, he was on the bunch side. And then when he's running cover 2, he's doing it off the running back side. So kind of an interesting thing to monitor throughout the game. So what I'm getting at here is for him to defend Y curl, he has to be in a cover 2 over here. So as you see, that side is a cover 2. It's cover 2 on the other side too, but especially the right side. So if I'm Showtime, right, if his user's over here, then I know, right, that he's probably running cover 2 to that back side. It's kind of a standard defense against bunch. But anywho, you're going to see he's going to send that slot corner. He's going to drop his user in a third. He's probably going to switch stick off of his user here. And that time, good pickup by Showtime, and he goes to a different play here. So take a look at the play. He goes to deep. I think this is deep corner, which is another interest. Again, this is just has a nice fast flat route to the tight end. He's got a clear out streak. He's got this post. These are just combos you really don't see a whole lot anymore, but it's a great. What's crazy is it's literally just post drag at its core. But the way he kind of gets to it is in kind of an interesting way. And as you see, he's able to hit it right in a nice little pocket. Showtime plays the game at a very, very fast pace. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't gone no huddle more. But because we've actually seen that a lot from him in the past. Anyway, this is a big time matchup. And the last game that Abram played Showtime, it was right down to the wire. Another little thing is that Abram is running a show blitz cover 0 type of alignment within his dollar. And so what that means is that those safeties are going to get significantly affected by the formation. There, Showtime goes to motion wide post. I believe Showtime is in the Raiders playbook. He's not in Falcons. He's in Raiders. Clef runs Falcons, which has a lot of this bunch stuff in it. Here you see, so see there, he's cover four and he's on the right side. And then take a look at this play. You don't see this a lot. You don't see this route a lot, but this is just a basically what I don't know for sure, but I think he just curled the running back and maybe stand it up, but I think it was just a basic running back curl. And let's take a look at the backside of the play. And you see there on the backside, he's basically running Y curl, right? But he's just one little tag. He tags a running back curl as opposed to that wheel route because he knows that Abram is running that cover four defense to the right side, which is kind of again just the tendency. Here he goes to kind of a standard, looks like a verticals play out of Y curl, but it's just streaking the slot receiver. And you see, I mean, Showtime plays very, again, just different. Just very different. I don't know of anybody that's running gun bunch as their main offense. I know people running bunch offset. I know people running bunch strong, but his main offense being bunch, it's just kind of interesting. So here we see Abram is now going to give that cover four look, and he's going to stay over the right side. And then you see that Showtime's big counter to the defense that Abram's running as well is that halfback base. It's another kind of another reason why Abram was on the right. Him being on the left side is going to invite him to run base. And there's wide curl, and Abram switch sticks poorly, and he's going to get clipped. And Showtime's able to get in the end zone. So two really good drives from Showtime so far in this game. And Abram, this is a back and forth battle, but basically it's kind of interesting. Abram has not really stopped Y curl yet. You've seen pretty clean games so far. One of the things that's really cool about this event and a lot of the games in this event, especially some of the semifinal and finals matchups, is it's pretty clean. If you watch the Abram Wesley game, if you watch the Wesley Henry game, if you watch the Showtime Abram game, all these games fairly clean, good back and forth. You're seeing good adjustments, and a lot of it just comes down to, are you able to consistently hit your stuff without making mistakes? One of the reasons for that, by the way, that I really believe is that at this point in the year, because people have played Madden 25 so much, one of the things you're seeing is the power of repetition. Because these guys have had so many reps playing this game, their reads are very fast. And as soon as I'm saying it's a clean game, you see Showtime get a pick here, and Abram just makes a bad read. And this is what's I tell you, man, this is so interesting. We haven't really taken a ton of time here to break down Showtime's defense, but I did want to cover it real quick. So as you see here, what you're getting from Showtime is this. It's a standard 6-1 look, and basically what he's doing, this has been a defense since I believe October, is he's going to do the hit the line. So he's just going to hit the line with his user, and then he's going to try to peel into coverage. Now he's going to do that pretty much almost every time off of this cover 4 hard flat shell. That's the main shell he's going to be in, okay? And then what he's going to do, and this is where Showtime is going to play the game kind of based off of his talent, he's going to rely 99% on his switch stick. He believes he has the best switch stick in the country. And we saw some amazing plays he made in the live event when he actually played Abram, one of the best switch sticks I've ever seen in that game specifically. And I had a breakdown on the channel on that. But anyways, the thing that I think is really interesting about this is Abram is going to call a pretty standard play to attack this, because obviously if you look at just the screen here and kind of where everything's going, the major holes in a cover 4 are really this kind of box on both sides. It's this idea of kind of throwing the ball in here and kind of making this guy have to defend all of this area of the field. So when you can force this user to have to defend this entire area, it really that's the area you want to attack. So anyway, if we take a look at Abram's route combination here, it's a very standard route combination, right? We've seen this before. This is basically bunch strong Durham from last year. Really good play. You got a wheel that's going to pull this flat out. So this flat is going to go to the wheel. And then basically what you're doing is you're making the read off of this guy. And if he goes over here, which he's going to, because Abram has this really nice route right here, this is going to pull the flat and it's going to pull both deep zones to him. And so you have two options. You can either hit this route, or if Showtime doesn't get back on it, you could even hit this route. So what's really interesting is this is a very high level play. This has been ran for several years, and this is being run currently in this video by the number three player. I believe the number three player in the world, three or four. He's right there, top five player in the world, made over $150,000. And take a look at what happens. Showed he misses the read. He literally misses the read. This is so interesting to me. But you see Showtime, he's there. This is like automatic. It's like I see him go there, I throw here. Like, I don't know if Abram thought his user would be engaged with the line for longer, but he basically just makes a mistake. He just makes a mistake, right? And it just goes to show, and it's such a powerful principle. But the best players in the world, if you really slow the game down and watch the game in depth, you will typically find that even the best players in the world will miss reads, they will throw interceptions, and it's not necessarily because anything Showtime did, if you will. He's running the same defense every play. It's just a mistake. And so, just kind of a super big piece here, because that mistake is now 21-7, right? That's now 21-7. And that's why it's so important, in my opinion, to do your best to make sure you don't make those kind of mistakes, right? And the main way you do that is through reps. Which again, these guys have a lot of reps, but again, he just missed the read. Like, at the end of the day, he just missed a read, and he gives right back, and he's able to pass. But it just shows even the best passers in the world. I think everybody would consider Abram a top five player, top five offensive player over the last at least 2-3 years, and even one of the best passers in the world missed a read. Right. So it's just kind of a big thing. If you feel like, man, I just can't get this offensive thing down. Even the best players in the world miss a read. Keep working on it, because you can always improve. You really can. So anyways, that's my speech for the day, but just kind of an interesting deal there. I mean, you're going to see, Showtime's going to be in this cover four every play. And it's going to, you already know that playing him. You know this is what you're going to get. So you see, again, cover four every single play. Now, Showtime we showed this in the Kobo game. He will mix in some match, too, against Bunch as well. It's another one of Abram's favorite plays, this little corner streak. And, this is just a great, take a look here. Showtime's not engaged with the line, and he gets clicked off, and Abram just, boom, pops. One of the things I think Abram is actually, which is kind of ironic that he missed that read, one of the things he's really good at, as I've watched him play over the last couple of years, is he's really, really good at making fast, it's a lot of if this, then that. So it's like it's a two-man read, and he makes that really, really well. You saw him all year long, running a play kind of similar to that motion wide corner play, this mesh spot here. Right, he's got a cover two beater on the left, and then look at this play here. This is a great design. We're gonna block the running back. What's his flat purpose? The flat purpose is because if he runs cover two on this right side, then this little motion is a touchdown. Okay, but it's the if this then that. So what Abram's anticipating though is this cover four, right? That's what Showtime's been doing. It's this cover four. So this flat is going to go over here, and then really the throw that he's wanting to hit is probably right here to the drag, or if the user goes to the drag, he has this little hitch, kind of right over the middle of the field. So what I like about the way Abram plays is it's literally going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4. He's very, I think he has a pretty good way when he designs these plays that they're like progression based passing, which is really, it's just very efficient. I just like how he plays offense a lot. Anyway, so you see, looks out here to the flat. No, now he's looking up here. Probably not. You see the user does a good job, but here, and he just gets shedded here, but he's going to have this right here. Right, so he basically, and then look right there. So you see how when you slow it down, you can just see these little pockets. And I think Abram is one of the best I've seen at hitting these little bitty pockets. Like he can really kind of dissect a defense. It was a whip route, kind of missed it. And I mean, and again, he's consistently putting stress on Abram or on Showtime's user in the middle of the field. All right, so 3rd and 3, kind of a big down here. He's going to go to this play. Loves this little fade. This is kind of a smash return setup. And it's all also really quickly like it's really interesting to me when you watch some of these high level offenses. So this is a play. This is a formation you don't see a lot, right? You do now because it's in Niners and Saints, and these guys are rocking it. But before, like January, you didn't see this formation a lot. This is a new formation in the game, but it's the same concept, right? What does this play look like? It's very similar to smash return out a bunch. The only major difference is you have this little fade. But if you think about it, this cover four plays this. The switch stick normally is going to be right here, and then basically your pocket is those two areas. So anyway, so you see how this kind of plays out here. You're going to see Showtime. This time he runs cover 2 to the right side, which really helps him a lot. And then what you're going to see is this throw is really the open read. And what's crazy is a lot of people used to switch stick to here to take this away consistently. I don't see that a ton anymore. But anyway, that's really the throw. He's got to this quickly and got KO'd by Devin White. But again, it's just that principle of like taking concepts from one formation and applying them to another formation. Oftentimes, one of the easiest ways to kind of fill out a scheme or fill out your playbook with different ways to attack different areas of the field. There he goes to his bread and butter. Now, why did he go to this play real quick? Because Showtime showed that he was running cover 2. So you see here, this time actually Showtime doesn't run cover 2, but this linebacker just does not get out here to the flat. I'm kind of surprised he left the running back on a swing. But anyway, nice throw to the flat. And again, he runs like that's his breath. Like he loves that play. Like if you watch Abram play, I've watched a lot of his games this year. If you watch him play over the course of several MCS games, he runs this play right here is one of his favorite. Like he hits that a lot. And again, it's kind of like a pocket play where you're hitting these little pockets within the coverage, whether it's cover 4, cover 2, or even a man look. So anyway, he's getting down here in the red zone. Got to get a touchdown here. Kind of needs a touchdown here because of the time on the clock. Going to go to trips tight end, which is a lot of people like trips in the red zone. I love this play anywhere. I think this is such an underrated. Like I'm surprised that we don't see more of this kind of a play. Here he's kind of dialing up something, and it's probably not going to work. Yeah, almost threw a pick. One of the things you'll also notice, I've rarely seen, like if you see players start like really hot routing and late in the play and they start really like going late in the play like that, normally I think that's because they don't really love what they audible to and they're trying to kind of cook something up on the fly, and I think that's normally dangerous, but that's my opinion. And this time he hits the read. So Showtime, one thing Showtime does here is he basically run commit. So as you see here, he doesn't technically run commit, but basically what he's going to do is he goes flat. This is actually super important. Hook. And then he basically protects the stick. So they come all the way down here. Now, why does he do this? The main reason he does this is due to the fact that there's a minute 38 left on the clock and he wants the ball back. So it's not really like a necessarily trying to stop Abram. He's trying to give him a touchdown. However, if Abram makes the mistake and throws like a flat or something, he can catch him. So you see here, Abram, see like we have this, like if Abram messed up again and threw that, or if he threw that, right, or even if he tried to snap through that, all that's covered. It's the quick cover because if he can get an incompletion, then it's 4th down. Abram has to settle for 3. But it's basically like I'm either going to take away like the underneath, or I'm going to give up a touchdown. And in doing so, in giving that touchdown up, he's able to now give himself an opportunity to be able to go score before half. So that's kind of a strategy there from Showtime of, I'm going to play really, really aggressive defense, get really up there. If you make a mistake, it could be a pick 6. It could be just a basic stop. But then if you score a touchdown, I get the opportunity now to go down and score 7 or even a field goal. But he has 3 timeouts, so he has, should have the perfect ability here to be able to go down and score 7. Had Abram just gotten a first down right there, he would have been able to then take Showtime's timeouts and kind of put him in a position where, it'd be much harder for Showtime to get 7. So kind of some of the big, the big strategy of like the clock at the end of half is always key to kind of, understand like situational football there. Anyway, 21-14, and it's going to go to, I think that's such an interesting setup there. That's another one of his core plays. Like I said, Showtime probably has about 5 to 10. I definitely don't think he has more than 10 core route combos that he's going to run within his offense from what I've seen. He doesn't really audible around a ton either. He's pretty much in bunch, which is, again, just super interesting. There goes to another Y curl. Got on a 4th down. Wasn't great plays. The base got blown up. The second, that other combo didn't really hit. And now we're on a 4th and 10. Should be Y curl here. And you got to believe this is Y curl. This is Abram's chance to definitely get back in the game, though. Abram's also not really going crazy at Jussie. He is able to get the stop here. So let's take a look at this 4th down. So remember that play. And again, this is not deep corner, but it's like a PA play that has like a wheel here. Anyway, the biggest thing is he's going to go back to that setup that he went to. The difference is he doesn't motion this guy out. This guy's now compressed. So he's got this wheel. He's got this streak. So what'll happen is because he runs this on this hash, this wheel can get open over here. And so you'll see here, good curl flat over here on the right side. And then basically the switch stick down onto this because you don't want to give integrity there. But really that's the throw, right? He kind of misses a read, right? The switch stick forces a missed read. But in general, like the drag is where you should have probably thrown that. And so just missed a read and he gets stopped, right? So again, and that's the thing, if you miss reads, that's why you have to, in my opinion, I think it's so important when you play the game, you've got to figure out, how you're going to get better at reading post snap. Because if you are not improving in the post snap world, the top level players, they're so good at disguising stuff. And now with switch stick, it's all post snap. You have to be able to process post snap what's happening. And that comes with repetition, but that also kind of to a degree comes with, not just repetition, but also like play design, and really what I call like conflict players, like within the play you're running, who is the player that you are really looking at? If you have to read the whole coverage, it's super hard to process all that within 3 seconds. But if you only have to read, like, if this defender does this, then I throw here. If this defender does this, then I throw here. When you get high lows, I think that's when it's easiest to read a high low. Like, if the user goes here, then I throw here. If the user goes there, then I throw there. And in that regard, Showtime read Abram's user that he was taking the drag. The only problem was he switch sticked up to the quarter, and it's kind of hard to make that read. It's a hard read to make, but that's where the skill comes in. So a big stop from Abram right there. He's able to get a field goal in that position, and that's going to really help him going into halftime. I believe that he gets the ball at halftime, and so Showtime's going to have a kind of an end of half scenario here. 8 seconds, 3 timeouts, so he can use the whole field. If he can get a big dot, he can get a potential field goal himself. We'll see what he's able to do. That's pretty much just base cover 4 with curl. Yeah, look at those curl flats kind of carry drags. Good defense from Abram. That's going to put him on a 3-second. Should just be a quick snap at a base. Yep. And it's going to try to spin out with Perry. If you guys didn't know, these bigger running backs, super, super good at spinning. All right, so here we go in the second half, and Abram is going to get the ball. This is kind of his big drive. He's able, if he goes down and gets 7, it really kind of flips the game. He gets in front of it a little bit. And so what? Guess what he's running? His favorite play, and he hits that little window right there. I haven't really talked a lot about this play, but this is motion corner out of tight Y off. It's just a streak. It's a little speed out, and then he's actually hot routing a corner. I think he stems it down. Basically, the read here is this is the main conflict defender. So if he jumps to this flat, you're almost always going to have this little pocket right here. If he vert hooks out, then Abram normally is going to be looking out to this out route over in that right side. So you see here, he flats out. The user has to respect the seam streak, which is also why that's there. And so it's just little pocket that he's able to hit in the play. And again, I don't know why he's leaving that running back on a swing. I think just because he wants to quick hike it, but it's that motion corner play. Really likes that play. And yeah, he's definitely in Pittsburgh. Now he's going to go to motion cross post out of bunch X now. So you really don't see this play. This play kind of was in the meta and then it was out of the meta real quick. Goes to a quick hike out of it. Probably nothing. There's this little crosser just because the user, Showtime's user, kind of got held down in the middle of the field. And kind of interesting. This formation also has some other unique stuff, but see what he goes to here. Kind of a, yeah, again, here, hot route and late in the play. Kind of was a standard bunch combo, gets screamed at. And this is what happens, man. I'm telling you, when you start like sitting at the line of scrimmage, almost never nothing good happens. It's normally what you want to see is like I come out, I'm decisive in what I want to do. I get into the play, I snap. Like the more I watch, not just Abram, but in general, I feel like that happens a lot to people. There's a little bench pivot setup. Good switch here. This is one of the advantages of 6-1 because this guy gets out here so slow. He's actually able to KO, and Showtime does a really good job there of switch sticking on to the route. He would have had that right there. Abram just kind of, I think he actually threw this a little late though too. So like, watch how this kind of goes out. So you have this drag kind of gets held up, but then really the throw needs to go like right now, like on time. And because he's like just a half second late, then it gives Showtime, which is actually a crazy switch because he switched it from here all the way over here, and then he just bites there, and he's able to stop it with the KO. So a little bit of bad timing there from Abram. And again, why? Because I don't think he runs that play a lot, right? Well, the play that he never misses is this one. He never misses this read right here. Motion corner. And kind of actually probably might have had circle over the top, and he gets on a 4th down. So, here, this is a standard bunch combo as well. Streak is late. I mean, super late. You might have that, but this just, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he was trying to hit the corner on a cover 4. I don't know. I mean, the thing about Showtime is he's not going to make much adjustments. It's cover 4 every play. Like, that. So, I thought that was kind of an interesting call. Here's kind of in a bad spot. 4th and 15 is really hard to convert in this game if you're playing somebody that quasi knows what they're doing. And he's going to throw a pick. Kind of just tried to force a seam streak. Cooper DeJean might run it back like he did in the Super Bowl. And Showtime is kind of on his neck right now. Like he's able here. I mean, got a good stop on that. Really, if it wasn't for that little scenario that happened before half where Showtime just kind of got bagged, this probably a lot more decisive so far. I mean, you're looking at like 21. You're looking at 21-14 with ball, potential to be 28-20, 28-14 here. So this is a big moment, and we'll see what Abram is able to do. Again, base from Showtime. This is what Showtime does, man. I'll tell you. What's really interesting is that base. I mean, he's probably called base 10 times so far this game, right? I'd like to see a flip base. He likes base left, but see, if you guys don't know about this, when you have it's not doesn't happen in offset formations. But any formation that's like a regular formation, so for example, like gun bunch is regular, but gun bunch offset, this wouldn't apply, but gun bunch, it applies. You get a faster handoff animation if the running back is going to be is on the hand of the quarterback's throwing hand. So Bo Nix is right-handed, so Showtime's getting a slower handoff animation by running base left to right. If you see there kind of a slower handoff animation, if Showtime flipped his bunch, he'd get a super fast handoff animation and be able to run it a little bit. It just kind of hits a little different. So kind of surprised because he really likes this bunch left, but I actually, base historically has been ran right to left, not left to right. So anyway, DB fire, and really just Abram was just trying to stop the run here. So Showtime hits that Y cross. I mean, the other thing about Showtime is he just never misses this. It wasn't even, that was Y curl, but I think he streaked him or speed outed him. That's right. Another one of Showtime's little plays. This might have been wide trail. Let's take a look at the tight end. No, I'm almost positive it's Y curl. So we have a drag, we have that running back route, and then we have this little speed out that he's looking to hit against that hard flat. And again, this is just a worthless zone, doesn't do anything. Yeah. So there we go, 28. And like I said, this could very easily be 28-14. That field goal before half could even be like 31-14 if Showtime's able to go and get 3. Like that drive before half, really a key factor in this whole game. And take a look at what Abram goes to. First play, he's go right back to motion wide corner. That's his main play. That time kind of got shedded, and Showtime played pretty decent with the user on the route. Let's see what Abram's going to be able to do here. Now he's going to go back to that Durham play. Blocking the tight end now. That block tight end is going to really help against 6-1. Hard to get pressure against block tight end out of 6-1 here. And he's going to have that running back late. Good pocket by Abram. Good composure. Not throwing it away. Not taking a sack. Able to just, pop it out to the running back there. Looks like should be. You'll probably see motion corner called a lot more here. Drag post. Ooh. Tight window. Tight window there. But one of the things about Showtime, like I said, I mean, it's so interesting to watch this game. I mean, he's got 2 stops, and he's literally running, for the most part, cover 4 hard flat every play. Maybe a cover 2 here and there, but as you see, I mean, it's cover 4. I mean, he's going to be in cover 4 hard flat. He might middle third the guy, but it's still basically cover 4. I mean, it's so interesting how he plays. Because it's all based off sticks. His whole game is stick skill. That's what he wants. That's how he wants to play the game, is based off his stick skill here. All right, so here we got running back, little table, slant flat. Now we're going to speed out. This is, again, hot route late in the play. Angle route now. And he's able to hit it that time. Good read by him. Showtime kind of overextended himself a little bit. That man up was... I think he really sold out to stop the basic combo. 2-point conversion opportunity for Abrams. Should be motion corner. It is going to be that. One of the routes that... Oh, no, it's going to be more of a bench pivot. And playmaker the zig. Good. Wow. Look at that. Little route bounce. Kind of gets a trail. Nice route. Going to get that 2-point. So we got about 5 minutes left in this game. It's a big drive for Abram. This is kind of his big opportunity, right? Went down, got 7, or got touchdown, got 2-point. Now he's only down 3. Even if he holds him to 3 here, going to be in a good position. Showtime might pass here because there's only 4 seconds left in the quarter. Normally this would be a base call, but he might pass here, but just because of the time. But yeah. The other thing about Showtime that's really interesting to watch is I'm almost positive he's ran base on the first play of every drive I've ever seen him play. Like, he runs base first. Like, he really kind of, it's almost cadence like he's almost automatic. Like, I'm gonna run base, I'm gonna run Y curl, then I'm gonna run this play. Like, it's like almost scripted, like the way he plays. Because again, most of his game, the way he sees it, is totally based off of his user stick. So There's the auto motion play. Kind of caged. Playmaker's a post. Why wouldn't you? And kind of get something on a route bounce as well there with the route to Calvin. And another thing about it, man, is like both these guys are good examples of if you're not getting pressured, you stand strong in the pocket, you wait on something, a lot of times it can come open. And the whole world knew that he was running base there. That's why Abram jumped on the safety, tried to get him down in the box, kind of increase the box count, chance to be able to stop the run. And guess what? Showtime got 8. Now, when you get 8 here, you almost always run base again. This should be a base call. I don't think he's going to because, again, he plays the way he plays. There's that wheel play. I mean, it's just it really is like a cadence. It's like base then this, base then this. Like see a base call here, 1st and 10. Yep. Yeah, just so interesting. And he's just trucking with Perry, and wow. Abrams' face is like, well, not a fan of that. So great defense from Abram. Unfortunately, they didn't tackle. I'll tell you, seriously, one of the most underrated pieces of defense, which I don't know that there was necessarily anything Abram could have done about that except put secure tackler on everybody. I don't know, because Perry sometimes just goes wild with the trucking. One of the biggest pieces of like wisdom to me is this just the idea of like if you can get really good at tackling is so important in Madden. I'm not great at it either, right? It's something that I feel like I need to do a better job. But the more I watch these games, especially the high level, if you could just tackle, consistently, force them to have to drive, because what you really want, and that's a nice combo. There's that drag post combo. Love to see that. What you really ultimately want is you want the other person to have to score inside the 5, and that's pretty much score inside the Madden red zone is kind of like the 15 and in or the 10-yard line and in. 10 and in is pretty much Madden red zone. Here, Abram going to go for a cover 4 bomb. Let's see if he has the time to hit it. He is going to have the time to hit this. Nice little cover 4 bomb. If you guys didn't know, the best way to bomb cover 4 is basically kind of double corner, if you will, or out, and then like a super deep corner, like 20, 30 yard stem on the corner route. But I mean, this right here, this is exactly what. So again, this is the whole idea. So like Abram is now in what I would consider to be the Madden red zone, where you can shrink the field, because if you just put a cloud flat out here, this cloud will play, kind of all that space. And so it allows you to use the end zone as an additional line of defense, right? Use the boundaries of the end zone. And so there you see, you get a little pressure, he's able to blitz more because the defense really gets a lot of help down there, especially if you have, unless a run is overpowered. And the thing about and there's that the short side wheel streak combo really getting against cover 4. Abram kind of a little bit of a decision here. He's probably going to go for this, but this is super hard. This is a super hard convert. Okay. Because you can't really run it. There's not a run. You can't run the ball. You have to make a read here. And he's going to scramble out and make a really good read in the back corner of the end zone and just gets that in route late. And that is again, guys, that is so indicative of like how important pocket presence is. But a lot of Madden, really, I'm telling you, if you make tackles, force them to score down inside that 10, you really got a great shot. We'll see what Abram was able to do here. Onside kick attempt. Gonna go with let me actually see, does he go to the high kick? Is it telling us? Yeah, he does. Gonna go high kick. And gonna go kind of mid power, if you will. Goes up and a flag. All right, so Showtime. If you're Showtime here, I mean, you just clock this out. So, and Showtime's mine. If I get a couple first downs, I'm good. He's going to run base here. Pretty much a guaranteed base call here. Abram trying to sell it to stop it, and Perry gets a first down. It's actually bad for Showtime that he got a first down there. You would want that to be a 2nd and 9. Or 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1 is really good because then you have like 2 or 3 downs to get a first down, and then you can get a fresh set of downs. The problem now is if he gets a first down off of this puts him in the red zone. So he is going to probably take this to the 2. And Abram is now selling out for the run here. He is in 6-1. He is blitzing set. He's blitzing everybody. He's just trying to stop Y curl and blitz the crib, and he's able to stop base. So now, kind of again, that's where Showtime only runs bunch, right? So pretty much only runs bunch. Anyway, you're gonna see a dollar call here from Abram, and Showtime immediately goes back to base. Not able to get it. Gets blown up here. And now you're in kind of an interesting spot. Again, as I said before, I think if you play somebody, you're playing somebody good, fourth and 15, third and 15, hard to kind of convert consistently, right? Because of how good the switch stick is. A lot of the routes that switch stick really is strong against is some of those deeper crossing corners, posts, things of that nature. Here you're going to see Showtime's going to go to that wheel play. He's got that post wheel, and Abram gets a D-line pick. So, again, this has been kind of standard, and he just gets the pressure. This is where having a blitz threat, right? There's not a great way to pick this up. Notice that Abram sends the slot corner. Why does he send the slot corner? Kind of a big down, but also like Showtime on this hash mark, you're basically getting this motion out play, or you're getting a flat and a out route. The flat doesn't kill you, so he's willing to give the running back flat route up here, and he knows he's not running Y curl either. And so you see, kind of goes to that post wheel play, and Abram gets that D-line pick, right? The defensive linemen in this game, they all have lurk artists. They are a lurker or something to be able to help them catch interceptions. And now if you're Abram, you're going to go win the game, right? You're in prime position somehow in this game where he really hasn't looked like the better player. He's in prime position to go down and win the game, right? Because Showtime has in some critical moments made some big mistakes. The end of half drive where he gave up. I guess the swing route kind of attacks that yellow zone. I don't know. Right there from Abram on that motion Y corner. You're going to see that play a lot on this drive, I'm assuming, because that's his favorite play in the game. He loves that play. Anyway, what I was going to say about Showtime is that end of half drive, right, really kind of left Abram in the game, where he got stopped on fourth down, where he got stopped on that end of half drive, and then Abram was able to get a field goal. That field goal has kept him in the game. And so, and then also that big stop right there. So, kind of a big deal, like, to me, that Showtime got, so bagged on that 3rd and 15. Like I said, I think 3rd and 15 is kind of hard to convert. There it gets kind of randomly D-lined. That's why every Madden defense really is at its core is based off of a blitz, because if you have some type of a blitz threat, you force pass pro, but you also, when you're blitzing 3, 4, 5 people, you can get those kind of disengages, especially in a 6-1. And you see here, he's kind of consistently putting himself in position there. Nice playmaker from Abram, timeout. Now we got a 32-35. Now this is really a hard position for Abram. The reason why is because he's going into the Madden red zone, right? Ideally, you really want to score from out here. You don't want to get down in that 10. The other problem is Abram doesn't have any timeouts, so he's going to have that dig route, going to throw it away. He doesn't have any timeouts. The one thing that is helpful, though, in this situation, if you don't have any timeouts, is once you get inside, like, I think it's the 25, I want to say. I know for sure it's inside the 20. Once you get inside like the 20, if you throw it away, it just throws it out of the back of the end zone. Here we go. PA crossers almost got sacked. So that's what Abram's kind of release valve is if he feels any kind of pressure whatsoever, it's free to throw the ball away. He's not going to get intentional. He's not going to get anything. So he's gonna really leverage that here. But he is getting down here, 3rd and 10. Going to go with the street corner post, max pro setup, probably playmaker of the post. Going to playmaker that circle receiver. Is going to have to throw this away. Wow. Okay. So 4th and 10. Now he should take 3 here. This should go into overtime. That's another thing there. Abram got three end zone shots, and then he's going to go overtime. What he probably wanted to do there by the max protect was he probably wanted to take all the time and then kick going in. But anyway, going to take his field goal and should be good here. And now, Showtime's going to basically have one play. It's pretty easy this year to prevent defense, just because, again, because the power switch stick, you can get to you can switch to wherever the bomb's at. And normally most bomb concepts are really going to have like 1 or 2 options. And so because of that, it makes it really easy to switch stick that. Anyway, going to get a little base call, just going to try to pop a run, not able to do that. And now we're going to get into the overtime. So this game actually goes into overtime. Abram's going to get the ball in Madden in general, and with the new overtime rules. Pretty much what you want to do is you want to kick the ball off. So Showtime won the toss, probably kicked it to Abram, because what that does is if you get a stop, you just need a field goal. Or if you give up 7, then you now have the opportunity to go for 2 to be able to win the game. So anyway, nice little game. And that time Abram hits that. We talked a little bit about that previously, but that time Abram hits that whip route on time, and Showtime, even though he switched it there, he's not able to get there in time because Abram threw on time. So that's why timing, and which is another thing that Abram actually does really well offensively. If you watch a lot of his plays, he throws off timing. His throws are based off timing. He normally can throw, like when he throws on time, he's probably one of the best offensive players in the world. It's when he's a half second late, which happens to all of us, but when he's half second late, like that really, that really gives the switch stick the opportunity to be able to work. So anyhow, slant post from Abram. I really hadn't seen this a lot, but this is what he's really going to a lot against Showtime, is a slant post, drag post off of that motion Y corner. He's probably run motion Y corner. The 2 or 3 setups he has out of that, he's probably ran that about at least 10 times, maybe more in this game. So again, even though they're audibling around and doing a lot of little things here and there, it's like we're kind of running the same play, but we're running it a couple different ways. So, drag slant here. I don't know why the drag, and gets, gosh dang, look at that pressure from Nolan Smith. And there you see that's the power 6-1. When that thing comes in, that thing comes in. All right, 2nd and goal from the 15. This is a super hard position. Not going to be able to do it. It's going to scramble out of there with Bo. Gets him into a 3rd and 5. 3rd and goal, though. And again, Abram's probably going to go for it on 4th down. If he doesn't get it, he does get it there. So it hits that drag. Probably just going to kick a field goal here, force Showtime to have to score a 2-point. So now Abram, everything kind of comes down to this drive. Is Abram able to get a stop? And it's either going to be a stop or it's going to be a 2-point conversion, right? Is what it's going to pretty much come down to. So Showtime's mentality is, I'm going to drive down the field, I'm going to score a touchdown, and I'm going to score a 2-point. Because I believe that if Showtime only kicks a field goal, then Abram would just go down and kick a field goal or be in a position where he would only need 3 to win the game. Anyway, 1st down, guess what he's going to call? He's going to call base every time. Pretty much every time I've seen him play, it's a 1st down base call, followed by a 2nd and 7. He's not on a hash, so he might go to base, but probably Y curl here, I would assume. Nope, base. And the reason for that right there was to get him to a hash mark. Right, the best pass, passers want to. If you want to pass, you want to pass on a hash mark, because the coding is a lot more easy to predict. When you're in the middle of the field, sometimes those zones will do things that you don't know. So, all right, so got a KO there. That's a big 4th down play, and kind of in similar fashion to what we've seen, big downs. Abram's going to go cover 2. She's going to go cover 2 on the left, some man ups, and Showtime's going to pop a seam streak. Really nice read. Abram really, and from what I've seen him play a lot this year, and really last year as well, Abram really likes to man people up. Like he's going to, especially in key situations, he's going to play. He's not just going to play man, but he's going to play press man. He really wants to press the press man coverage. So you see here, this is a trips adjustment. This takes away the cover 2 beater up the seam. This safety deep half, because he moves out here, this is a pretty decent route. So you see there's that press man coverage. But take a look at this with me. And this is something I don't understand. So Showtime, and again, it could just be like a shed deal, but I love this combo. So we got like a drag, we have a streak, and then he has this wheel, okay? It puts this defender in conflict, and normally in trips formations, the deep half will favor kind of the seam, and you can throw that whole shot right there against a Tampa 2 or cover 2. So what you're going to see here, also the cross man here is kind of interesting, but basically as you see, you get this backside in. Okay, so not really relevant to the route, but what it's interesting to me is this is a touchdown. This is literally like you throw this on time. This is a touchdown because look what that deep half. His eyes are going here, so he's going more to the middle of the field. Even though he's out there, he's still being pulled to the middle of the field. This is if it's not a touchdown, it's at least a big play. And Showtime misses it and ends up getting sacked in a big down. Now it's gonna bring him a 3rd and 8. So now Abram's kind of fully in the cover 2 as well. He's not really running cover 4 anymore. So Abrams obviously kind of getting aggressive, trying to get that stop. He's going to send 5 or send, doesn't 5 or 4. And guess what Showtime runs? He's going to run Y curl. Okay. So the deep half gets pulled out by the running back wheel. So you see here, and Showtime or Abram tries to switch ticket. And what's really interesting is Showtime just mosses him. Look at that. The pick in. Just basically Showtime gets a favorable animation, honestly. I mean, Abrams right there. He kind of predicted the play call. And he's sad. Definitely sad. Showtime definitely sigh of relief. But it all comes down to this play. 42-41. Can Showtime get a 2-point? And this is the hardest place to me to score consistently. Super hard to score down here. Abrams is going to be, I don't even know what to play. Okay, so I did want to actually, let's take a look at the red zone because it's going to show it to us. So this is red zone, kind of a standard red zone defense. Basically, Abrams going to blitz from it too. So this is cover 2 drop. So he's going to set up his blitz, which his blitz is hit the line, let this guy come in, and maybe contain on the outside. The coverage aspect is hard flat, curl, hard flat, and then his user's in a mid read. Okay. So what that's going to do is the main pockets are really these back pylon throws. So if Showtime's running Y curl, he might have it. But anyway, so we see here, he does run Y curl, I think. I don't know what that route, I guess the route just doesn't run well in the red zone. And I mean, this play is basically already dead, as you see. He just doesn't have anything. He tries to get out of the pocket. Yeah. And just caged. And there it is. Abram stands up on him. Solid pant choice there. I don't know what color. We got the flower pants, the heart pants, Valentine's Day, whatever it is. But yeah, really. Yeah, he really just ran Y curl with a drag, an in route. This is the flat. It's just, just this route is it would have been good, but look at that curl flat. Just play it. That's actually a really nice play from the curl flat zone. And it just, that's why it's so hard to score in the red zone. A lot of this game comes down in the red zone. In this game, there's a lot of mistakes on both sides, or not a lot, but a couple mistakes on both sides. Ultimately, it ends up with Abram getting victorious. Showtime already checking the Discord, checking in on the phone. And yeah, that's going to be it. But thank you guys for watching this video, and check out some of the links in the description. Shout out to Red Hot Gaming. They're doing a lot of really good stuff for the Madden community. And if you want to take your Madden game to the next level, check out our school community. That's $10. Get you access to all of my offensive and defensive ebooks. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.